Hey everybody, Fishing Fool here, and I have another EDC option for you. It is the Cold Steel Code 4, which Code 4 stands for No Assistance Needed. I'm guessing it was designed for law enforcement or military use, but it fits the bill on what I need or what I'm going to use it for. And I've seen this knife on Nuttin' Fancy's review, and it's one of those knives I just had to have for what I'm going to use it for. You may use it for EDC. I'm using it only for fishing and as a wilderness folder, backup, and to put in a bug out bag. Let's get into some of the features on the knife. It's got the triad locking system, proven, very nice system, super strong lockup. There's no play in the blade at all. No side to side, up and down, nothing at all, just a great lockup. And I love these systems. They're super strong. You can go to their website on Cold Steel and watch them just beat the heck out of these knives. And they're proven. You know, a lot of guys love these, and I do as well. One thing I don't like so far about this knife, and you may have a different experience with this if you order it. I ordered mine from Amazon. The bevel on this thing is just absolutely horrible. If I can get it to focus here. I mean, it is way off. Come on, focus. There we go. You can see how far off it is. It is just absolutely horrible. But it's not a big deal. I can reprofile this knife to 30 degrees and put a micro bevel on it. But that doesn't change my opinion on Cold Steel. You know, they still make great knives. You know, I've got the Spartan here with the same triad locking system, and this one's worn in a little bit. This one here it's pretty stiff, but that's to be expected coming from the factory, and I haven't played with a whole bunch yet. But this one, I can press it and then it'll fall down. I could pretty much use this as a one-handed knife. This one not so much because it is, like I said, brand new. So it takes a little bit more. But for being a lockback design, this thing, you know, it flips out pretty good. I could still possibly use this as a one-handed knife. And you can wave it out. It takes a little bit to do. But, you know, with it being locked back, it don't take much to flick it out of there, which is really nice and surprising, especially in a folder with a lock back. It's the clip point design. I just thought it looked cool. It's gonna be a little bit more stronger, have a stronger tip on it. And like I said, I'm only using this basically for fishing, and if I were to go out in the woods or something as a backup. Blade length is 3 7/8 of an inch. It's got a hollow grind. That's where they take two grind wheels and grind it down from this direction to a point. It's not like a flat your flat grind. Blade thickness is 3.5 millimeters. Your overall length is 8.5 inches, and the weight on this knife, for how big it is, 8.5 inches, 4.3 ounces. Awesome. And I think that goes to, well to say with it being billet aluminum, 61 billet, that's where you're making up a lot of weight with that knife, excuse me. Can't talk today. And for being how big it is, it's surprisingly light. I mean, even with my Spyderco paramilitary, this thing's only maybe a couple more ounces lighter. I think this is like 3.8 ounces and 4.3. I mean, that's pretty dang good. Its closed length's 5 inches, and like I said, it's got your 60-61 billet aluminum handles, which are going to be tough, you know, and they're not going to rust, of course, which I do have a little bit of surface rust starting on here, and that's just from not washing it off and putting oil on there when I went fishing with it. Not a big deal. But if you take care of this knife, put some oil on it, you know, just thin coat, before you put it away, or if you live in a climate like mine where we're in salt water, it's going to rust. Your pocket clip is ambidextrous. It can either be on this side or this side, and it comes with the left-handed side clip. And it only comes in the tip-up configuration like this. It does not come in tip-down, so if you want this knife, man, you carry tip down like this, it doesn't come that way. This thumb stud is reversible. There's a flathead screw on this side. You can loosen that up and switch it to your left hand if you want. I mean, you could still, even if you are left-handed, you could use this as a thumb stud. The centering on it is good. Right in the center. Considering they had the horrible bevel on this thing. But, I mean, look how thin this thing is. This thing is absolutely amazingly thin. I mean, it does not protrude in your pocket, take up space at all. It's really flat, and I like that. It doesn't take up a lot of spot in your pocket and banging against other things. Price on this knife is going to run you about $55 to $60. I picked mine up from Amazon for $58, I think, with free shipping, which is great considering it's a good quality knife, as long as you don't get a bevel like mine. But that's not going to affect anything on it. Got a little tiny lanyard hole there. Of course, I don't use those, but for the price, you can't beat this knife. So we'll go into some of the pros and cons of it. It's very light for its size. That's a definite plus in my book. Super thin, and it's got good ergonomics. I've got about medium-sized hands, and I can really get a good purchase on this blade and not be worried about it slipping out, even though these handles, there's absolutely no traction at all on this aluminum. But for me, I've been using a knife since I was a young boy, and I'm 31 now, so I know how to hold a knife without cutting myself. I'm not going to be flipping this thing around and, worry about cutting myself. It does have the good ergonomics on it. If you're doing it in a stabbing motion, you're not going to worry about it slipping up and cutting your hand on the blade, because you got this nice finger choil here. It's going to be easier to sharpen because it's AUS-8 stainless, and it's going to have decent edge retention, which, I mean, for the price, you can't cry about it. I mean, it is AUS-8, and it's going to dull just like everything else, a little bit faster than, say, CPM S30V or any of your higher-end steels. But it's going to be easier to sharpen, and it's going to hold a edge. If you were to take it to a scrap or something after using it, I'm sure it would keep an edge for a pretty good while. It's got that super strong triad lock. That's another plus. And the price. Hell, $50, $60, you can't beat that. You lose it, buy another one, other than $150 knife, where I've got 3 of them sitting right there. Some of the cons, the pocket clip. This pocket clip sucks going into the pocket. As you can see, there's not much room there for it to slide into your pocket, and it catches. I wear jeans and like cargo shorts, and I've got to kind of lift this up a little bit to get it in there. Not a big deal, but that is a con. And this pocket clip is very short. I mean, for how long this actual handle is, this thing is really short. If they would have made this thing a little bit longer and added a little bit more of a bend to this where it'd go in the pocket nicer, that would be mo better. And the last con I could really say about it, maybe for other people, would be the fact that this thing has no traction. But I mean, you could probably put some grip tape right here. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's just a great knife for the price. And I mean, you'll be able to throw this thing in your pocket or a bug out bag or your backpack, as a backup knife. If I were to go backpacking, I'm going to carry 3 knives with me, or possibly even 4. Why carry that many? Because I can. It sounds stupid, yes, but I would carry like the SE5, your fixed blades, and the Azula, and this would be more of a backup. for food preparation, or at the very least, I would be able to baton with this thing if I were to lose one of my fixed blade knives, because it is a strong triad locking system. I mean, I could even baton with this thing, the Paramilitary 2. Not recommended because they are pocket folders, and this one isn't going to be as strong as your triad lock, but I mean, even the late Boy Scout did a review on this, and he was batoning with it. And Gideon Tactical did check out his video too. He puts it through his paces and shows you what it really can do. That's Gideon Tactical, and shows him batoning with it and feathering sticks, and that's not what you're going to be using it for. But if you were to lose your other knives, this is a good backup to have, and I would recommend it. But if you're like me, you nitpick on little things, this knife is not my EDC, so I can't complain too much. It's going to be used, like I said, just for fishing, and a backup to my other knives when I do go hiking or camping or something. Because it's light, I'll be able to throw it in a bag, and it's not going to take up a lot of real estate. But as always, if you guys like what I'm doing on these videos, like and subscribe so other people can see these videos. I love doing these videos for you guys and giving you a little bit of a little piece of my mind. So you guys might want to potentially buy these knives, and I'm not getting paid for them. I'm just doing this for the love of it. So if you like it, like and subscribe, comment. If you've got some other issues with this knife, let me know, or if you got some issues with some of the things I've said about it, let me know. That's why I'm doing these, and help you guys. So until the next one, y'all have a good day.